Part of what we're going to do for our shape animation is to have it move in sync with some music. So in order to do this, I've gone to a place where I have access to copyright-free, royalty-free early music, and I've chosen, after listening to them, the song called Ballet. These are guitar performances, and here you can see that I have the a little bit of it you can hear. Lovely. And what I'm going to do is choose a phrase from this. But first I'm going to just go ahead and download this, and the way I do this is I'm right-clicking and I'm going to save as, and I've already saved it obviously, but I'll save it as Ballet MP3. And then what I want to do is open this file up in Audacity. Now Audacity is a free program available to you, and you can just download it for Mac or PC. And what I want to do is open that file. Here it is, Ballet MP3. I want to open it up. And all I want to do is isolate a phrase. So first off, I'm just going to highlight. It's just like most programs. I use this I-beam, I can highlight, and I'm just going to delete that portion. And let's get a rough idea before we do the actual trimming of where that phrase begins and ends. So that's about where it ends. I'm going to highlight everything out here and simply delete it. Now Audacity, much like video programs, creates what's called an EDL. It doesn't harm the original file. It just creates an edit decision list. So if I were to save my project, and it tells me I'm about to save an AUP, I can save this in my, so I'm going to call this Ballet Edit. It's going to add the AUP, and I'm going to save it. Now that does not save the output, that's just the editing environment. So I believe I have a little bit extra. Let's zoom in here, just using the zoom tool, and let's rewind it and listen to it from the very beginning again. Now that I've zoomed way in, rewind, and I can trim, it looks like, a little bit more off of that beginning. Sometimes it's a good idea to leave extra, but I'm going to trim right to what I need this time. So let's listen one more time. Okay, so you can see that I have this little extra bit. You can actually see the waveform. That's the part that's, so I'm going to delete that. And then just to give this a really clean ending, I'm just going to highlight this little bit. It's already fading out, but I want it to go to absolute silence. So I'm going to go under Effect, and I have a Fade Out. And there, that'll take it to the absolute quiet. Very nice. So now I have a completed phrase with nothing more. I want to save my project again, just in case. And let's export this now, which is what I'm going to bring into my After Effects file. The ones that I want to choose from are WAV, which is the Microsoft format. Apple has the AIFF, and I also have the MP3. Now, if you download Audacity and you want to output to an MP3, you also have to download the special codec to encode it as an MP3. I'm going to go with the AIFF, which is a relatively uncompressed file format. This is good because when you recompress and recompress music, much like a JPEG image, you will start to lose the quality. So I'm going to save this, and I can go ahead and add any other information in here. I'm content with this, and there we have it. Before I bring my audio file into After Effects, I want to do a little bit of house cleaning. Remember that we always want our assets to be in our asset folder, but I don't want to just throw away my music editing just in case I need to go back. So I'm going to create a folder sound editing or something along those lines. And I'm going to drag all of the pieces parts into this folder. Now I do need this folder called Ballet Edit Data. It's loaded with crazy stuff, but just in case I need to go back and re-edit, I do want to have it. There's my AUP, the edit decision list that Audacity created. So here's all the files that I need if I want to go back into editing, but this is the file, the AIF, that I'm actually going to want to put into my assets folder. So I don't really need that if I needed to re-edit. I just need my folder full of data. I need the original MP3, and I need my edit file. By the way, I showed you to save it as an AIFF, which is correct. This was already an MP3, which was already compressed, so it's almost silly to save an MP3 as an AIFF, but if I had saved it as an MP3 again, I would be degrading it further, and then exporting it out from After Effects would degrade it further. So we're fine. Let's go back into our After Effects file, and what I want to do now is go ahead and import that. So File, Import File, and in my Assets folder where everything is, I'm going to bring in my Ballet Edit. Once I've imported my AIF file, what I want to do is drag it down into my composition, and I'm going to put it on the top layer for the moment so that we can, within my video frame here, I can show you the waveform. So here you can see that waveform, and if we just hit the spacebar in order to play back, we're not going to hear it. But we can go into RAM Preview. It should play there. Now it's hiccuping because I've only got a portion of my project. Also, if I hold down the Command key, I can scrub over it by dragging my playback head over. And this piece of music is pretty easy to see the waveform as well, so it should make it a lot easier for me to animate to. So, with all that said, let's save my project, and in the next video we'll begin to do the final animation for our group project.